Good evening, everyone. We're starting to have roll call.
Mrs. Caminiti. Mrs. Farley.
Here.
Mr. Fitzgerald.
Here.
Mr. Heffernan.
Here.
Mrs. Minimes.
Here.
Mr. Tulp.
Here.
Mrs. Wright.
Here.
Mrs. Tobacco.
Here.
Mr. Capone.
Here.
Ms. Whelan. Mr. Dembowski.
Here. Please stand for the pledge. And with sadness, we share that Mrs. Eileen Largy passed away on September 1st, 2023. Ms. Largy served the district for 29 years, beginning in 1972. She was a school nurse for Port Monmouth and Ocean Area Elementary Schools, and later, after earning a Master of Arts Student Personnel Services, Ms. Largy was a guidance counselor at Thorne Middle School. The Board of Education extends our gratitude for Ms. Largy's years of service and our deep condolences on her passing to the Largy family. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, brother. Okay, let's start with a proclamation, Alpha Delta Kappa Month. Whereas 2023 marks the 76th anniversary of Alpha Delta Kappa, the International Honorary Organization of Women Educators. Now let's turn our attention to our student speaker tonight from High School North, Aiden Corvisiero. I hope I said that right.
I think you did.
Perfect.
A little too tall for this thing. Good evening, everyone. Florida North's high-achieving 12th grade students earn National Merit Scholar status for outstanding performances on the PSAT. Those receiving the distinguished and prestigious honor include Andy Abram, Adriana Whalen, Michael Nagel, and Sean Limack. Senior Avery Matos applied for and participated in the Rutgers Neuroscience Academy, an esteemed academic program that only accepts a few students from the state of New Jersey. She experienced science classroom tours, visited the anatomy lab, and networked with renowned researchers. We are incredibly proud of her initiative, dedication, and commitment to excellence. High School North's Praise Before program celebrates students' positive actions and contributions across the campus. Staff members identify students who demonstrate kindness, compassion, respect, and leadership throughout the learning community. So for this month, the following individuals have been recognized for upholding and modeling these ideals: Jake Isaskin, Rowan Mcgetty, Jolie Giuliano, my bad, Jonna Archipretti, Luke Bays, Dan Estevez Sa, Olivia Stovall, Eddie Lopez, Jack Kelly, Catherine Bakora, Richard Malinowski, Jackson Dinero, Yana Emerson, Elias Ciati, Brandon Trusano, and Isaiah Ellis. Head of the Pride High School North Student and Staff Member of the Month Recognition Program celebrates exceptional scholastic achievement and highlights the positive influence of professionals throughout our building. Nominees for this distinguished award will be submitted at the conclusion of this week. We are excited to honor the first recipients of our 2023 to 2024 academic year. At High School North, we believe in the benefits that stem from participation in co-curricular activities. Student ambassadors will be speaking with non-ranked graders this week to promote the 56 available clubs across our campus. Encourage involvement. As always, we are truly proud of this relationship that consistently enriches our community. Peer leaders visited 9th grade advisory classrooms last week to facilitate interactive ice-breaking activities that launch a successful school year. Additionally, they will be engaging in Respect Week exercises and lessons next week. After School Night was facilitated on Thursday, September 21st from 6:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. It was a well-attended event featuring an introductory video from our administrative team and a comprehensive classroom presentation from teachers. Additionally, the Lions Den School Store and our student government sold new and exciting merchandise. The class of 1972 designed and donated a new signage with the Arnie Truex Stadium press box. It has been installed. It looks very impressive. It has a limited facility. Our girls volleyball team organized a Yellow game that promoted pediatric cancer awareness and raised money for the Infinite Love for Kids Foundation. Junior soccer player Hamid Malananta, sorry if I butchered that, was named the short conference player of the week for week 2 of this fall season. Cheer Experience 2023 is set for Friday, October 13th. This event enables students ranging from kindergarten to 5th grade to join the squad for a Friday night light football game at Brook Township. Our Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America is also sponsoring the Pink Out that same evening, where proceeds will be donated to Girls Intentions, a local charity that provides immediate support to local women who battle breast cancer. Week of Respect will be recognized throughout the school from October 2nd to October 6th. Each day will feature community-wide theme, purposeful announcements, and mini lessons from Ms. Smith, our anti-bullying specialist. Auditions for It's a Wonderful Life, our four player complete, and rehearsals are underway in this highly anticipated production. Thank you all.
Thank you, Agent. Before we move on any further, I want to introduce our new student board members from High School North, Adriana Whelan, and from High School South, Jake Dembowski. Also at this time, High School North, Jake Dembowski. Speaker.
Hello, I'm Jake Dembowski, representing High School South. Hazel Burke, grade 12, has been nominated as South's National Daughters of the American Revolution Good Citizen Award winner. As this winner, Hazel will now compete in the DAR Good Citizens Scholarship Contest. Congratulations to Hazel. The fall sports season is in full swing, with over 440 students competing in 11 different sports. The girls' cross-country team recently won the A North Divisional title for the 10th straight season. Senior Rosie Shea finished in the first place in the meet. The boys and girls soccer team have both started playing in the short conference swim, notching wins in their first 2 games of group play. The gymnastics team recorded wins over St. Rake, Coltsneck, and Freehold Township and remains undefeated. Senior football player Colin Gallagher was named the New York Jets High School Player of the Week after running for 241 yards, 3 touchdowns, 11 tackles, and 2.5 sacks in a win over Raritan. The Middletown South Eagles Hall of Fame will be holding their 6th induction on October 21st at Jacques in Middletown. 9 former athletes, 1 former coach and athletic director, and 3 teams will be introduced at the football game on October 20th, and then formally inducted in a brunch ceremony on the 21st. For more information on how to purchase tickets to the event, please contact Hall of Fame co-chairs Mr. Rosenblum or Ms. Hickman. South held their first back-to-school night for the year on September 20th. The night went well, with lots of positive feedback from parents and staff. 3 films from Middletown South will be screened in Times Square at the All-American High School Film Festival in October. The festival is the largest student film in the world, and there will be over $600,000 in prizes. 1 film from Middletown South will be screened in the Fuse Film Festival in Croatia on October 6th, giving our students the opportunity to screen their work internationally. 5 films from Middletown South will be screened at this year's New Jersey School Boards in Atlantic City. South will have the most films screening in both Monmouth County and in the state of New Jersey. Thank you, that was all.
Thank you. We're now going to turn our attention to Dr. John Kerrigan for a presentation on the NJSLA results.
All right, I would like to thank everybody for coming out tonight to the board meeting. This is our second presentation for this school year. We first went over the NJ GPA results in July. That was for 11th grade students only. We received the NJSLA results in late August. So now tonight we're here just to debrief on what that looked like for our district. On our district website, you will find a large slide deck of about 45 slides that go over individual schools, subgroups, etc. For the purposes of this board meeting, I've created a snapshot presentation that goes over high-level points from our district results. Just a little bit of background, NJSLA is our state testing. It is given in grades 3 through 9 for English language arts, math grades 3 through 8, algebra 1 and geometry in the high school, and then science is given in grades 5, 8, and 11. And the science covers a couple of grades worth of content. So in grades 5, that covers science. In grades 3, 4, 5, in grades 8, that's all of middle school science, and in grade 11, that's the high school science up till that point. The NJSLA is based on New Jersey student learning standards. These are the standards that we use to develop curriculum, and teachers use these to guide their instruction. Each assessment has 2 to 4 units per subject, depending on the grade level. The NJSLA assessment has multiple choice items of the type where you choose one answer that answers the question, or there are types where you have to choose all that apply, and it's an all or nothing type scenario. There are also some constructed response questions where students type out their numerical answers or their written ones. In Middletown, we administered the NJSLA in the district throughout May 2023 and had a really high participation rate in the upper 90%, and that's a testament to our families. To get ready for the test, we first have all of our curricula based on the New Jersey Student Learning Standards. So if you take a look at any of our guides, all of them are written from the standards up. That's where we start, and then we choose appropriate materials to implement the standards. To get the test prep in, we have a couple of really good resources available, including the New Jersey Department of Education's Digital Item Library, which houses released items in math and in ELA across all the different grades, so teachers can pull these throughout the year to use as a lesson opener or during instruction. There's also a website called New Meridian, which releases PDFs of actual New Jersey student learning assessments or PARC assessments, so teachers can see what they actually looked like and use those in their classroom as well. In some of our schools, we also have before and after school learning academies that can help facilitate preparation efforts as well. Our proudest accomplishment in testing this past year is our percent meeting and exceeding expectations this year compared to last year. We noticed a large increase from this year versus last year across the board in many subjects, including math, ELA, and science, grades 4 on. Some are even double digits. We also look at, aside from the meeting of exceeding expectations, we look at actual raw scores. For math and ELA, there's 5 different levels of performance, from did not yet meet all the way up to exceeded. And then science, there's 4 levels, below to advanced. And we're happy to note that if we take a look at the Middletown Township results in English language arts compared to the state level results, pretty much across the board, we have higher percentages in students exceeding expectations compared to the state. So if you look at that level 5, couple of columns at the end, our results as a district exceed the state results in most categories. Same for level 4, which is also meeting expectations. There's a large percentage above in each grade level where our students are outperforming the state numbers. And then similarly on the lower end of things, if we look at level 1 district versus level 1 state, our numbers are smaller. So we have fewer students overall doing poorly compared to the state if you look at level 1 and level 2. So as a district, we're doing pretty well compared to the state in ELA. And the same can be said for math as well. Again, if you look at level 4 and level 5, our percentages in pretty much all of those grades and subjects are above. Grade 8 is the anomaly. Grade 8 just takes the students who aren't in honors algebra 1, so that's a smaller group of students. Grade 8 looks different across the state. with different percentages of students taking different kinds of math. But by and large, our math numbers as well in levels 4 and 5 are exceeding the state percentage of students meeting and exceeding expectations. And on the lower end of things, the same thing can be said. We have fewer students doing poorly compared to the state, which is a good thing. Of particular note are our high school numbers. We resequenced our math curriculum a couple years ago where we have geometry before Algebra 1 and Algebra 2. And now we're in year 3 of that. So we're going to really see the effects this year in grade 11. Now that students have progressed through geometry, Algebra 1 and Algebra 2. But we can already start to see the results in Algebra 1 and geometry in the high school with NJSLA. So we're really happy about that. Again, these are broad district level results. We're really happy with our students, the effort our teachers have put in, the support of the board and our families. And there's always more work to be done. So we look at these results in conjunction with our iReady benchmarking, our local assessments, and we continue to move forward and raise achievement as much as we possibly can. Thank you. And then also aside from that, science. So science as well, same thing can be said here. Science is a little trickier, like I said, because it's covering a couple grades worth of content. And the science experience looks different for students, especially in high school. They might not take biology, chemistry, physics. They might take some different kinds of electives. So the high school is always the tough one, but for elementary and middle school, we're in a similar position where we have a higher percentage of our students doing really well on the test compared to the state. And then same thing on the lower end, fewer students doing poorly compared to the state. So to be continued, we continue to raise achievement and bring out the best we possibly can in our students. We have several curriculum writing projects happening, and we always look at the curriculum and improve it based on what we see from our test results. Another thing we're doing is just implementing NJSLA prep that contains math and some ELA across science and social studies because there is overlap. So we try to reinforce the tested areas in those other subjects. For families who are watching, detailed reports, you should have received an individual score report for a student. If you haven't, it should be coming this week. We did start to mail those out last week. Principals will be presenting school level information in PFA or PTA meetings. And then if you'd like the full slide deck of really detailed results by building, that's available on our district website in tonight's board event agenda. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kerrigan. Those some very good numbers there, so thank you. Okay, moving on to our committee reports. We start with curriculum and instruction. Mrs. Harden.
Yes, thank you. We met on September 21st, and it was a pretty light agenda. Just one thing to point out, because it is on for a vote tonight, is that we have to get some more Chromebooks for grades K through 2, just so that we can use the iReady software in those grades. We're just getting 6 Chromebooks per classroom, so it won't be that every child is getting a brand new Chromebook. We don't like to have that much technology in the K through 2. We prefer to keep it more old school, but we do need to have those updated Chromebooks. Unfortunately, iReady updated their software over the summer, so our current Chromebooks for those lower levels are the older generations, and they just won't pair with it anymore. So we do have to do that updating, and that is on for a vote tonight. So that's all.
Thank you very much. Okay, we'll move on to special services, Mr. Tull.
Yes, we also met this month. Special services, we've touched on a number of topics involving the transition program for the over 18 population. A lot of good developments there. We're looking into, the administration is looking into some additional work-based learning locations, along with doing the groundwork to establish those partnerships and the logistics of the programs over the summers so that they can hit the ground running in September and not use that time to identify partners to do those types of programs with. The transition program is also looking into using Croydon Hall as an off-site component, as a location to learn not only work skills, but other life skills, like around the home and the workplace. place. And we're looking to add some of the work experience positions to that program that can turn into paid positions. So not just work experience for experience sake, but also to kind of roll that into an actual paying job. And then also the committee asked the administration for, and we got a nice update on how the ESS program is going in both locations, one at Ocean Ave and the other, which was moved from Lincroft to Thompson this year. Our understanding is it's early in the year, but it's going well. The programs aren't full yet, but they anticipate them filling up in the next few months to around 10 students per building, depending on the need. So far so good, but it's early in the year, and we'll keep following that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Toth. Now moving on to facilities and finance, Mrs. Doran.
The committee met last week, reviewed the status of projects, mainly the high school Northfield and track project that our facilities director reported. We're currently determining the best way to scope the drainage infrastructure of the field so that we can complete the revised specs that will be going out to bid in the next few months so that the project can take place over next summer. We also talked a bit about the Bayview field. We are working with the township on installing an irrigation well for this field, and we are also looking to install, we have piping that we can reutilize to create sprinkler lines that will hook up into this well after that's installed. So that is all in progress. We do have some agenda items under finance, one of them being the Chromebook purchase that Mrs. Farley just spoke about to support the iReady platform that we have in district. We also have the renewal of our Microsoft licenses and our Securely licenses, which were budgeted for. We also have an item on here for high school South cross-country transportation. At this point in time, we did report to the committee, we are still working on securing transportation for Bayshore and Thompson cross-country. We have not, after putting it out for bids and quotes several times, have not gotten a response. So at this point, we're going to be having to go to the companies and have them cover as they can. Unfortunately, that's where we're at this point, but we are aggressively checking with the contractors to see what they can cover. They just won't commit to a contract at this point.
Is it a shortage of drivers, or the hurting of everything?
Drivers. Yeah. We also talked about the district was notified of eligibility for ROD grant projects that we submitted to the state. We've been notified that we've been eligible for about $3 million of ROD grant funding for projects that total about $7,500,000. So we're happy about that. They're all in the area of HVAC. We did hear from our county superintendent that although there was a list of types of projects that were eligible the districts could submit, there were so many projects submitted for so much money that they really didn't get past the first priority, which was the HVAC. There might have been a few random projects that were in the next tier, but everything that was approved was primarily HVAC. So we did submit for those, and we're just now waiting the next steps, which will be getting a preliminary grant contract. And after we submit more information, we would then expect the final grant contract. So the process is ongoing, but we have gotten a notice of eligibility for these funds, which was good news. We also talked about the ongoing process of putting together a stabilization aid application that is due October 6th, that's next Friday. The board will have to approve a resolution at its October meeting to support that application. So we are able to submit it and have the board approve. We don't know the timeline of when we will receive word back on that, but we do have to submit by next Friday, so that's in process. And we do have a settlement agreement on the agenda, which we spoke about in the finance committee related to a transportation vendor complaint. And that's what we need to talk about in finance and facilities.
Very good, thank you, Ms. Doran. $3 million is a very good thing. Okay, we're now going to open the microphone up for public comment on agenda items only. So today we have a public comment there. You have to please forward and state your name and address for the record.
So remember, this is on agenda items only. There'll be a second opportunity for public comment.
See more coming forward. Move to close public comment and move on. Just a couple of quick things. First off, congratulations and welcome to the two of you to our student board meetings. That's great. It's the third week of school now, it's underway, and everything's looking good, right? Yeah. Good to hear. We're going to, just real quick, I wanted to bring out High School South was recognized as a top high school in the entire nation, not the state, the nation, in U.S. News and Report, which I think is a tremendous accomplishment for our district and for our town. So I just want to bring out that and thank everyone who's involved in making that happen, our students as well as our staff members and our administration. Thank you all very much. And now we're going to go on to the superintendent's report.
Great, thank you. I first want to thank the entire school community. We had an amazing opening to the new school year. It's hard to believe that we are already at the end of September. We're in the last week of September. That went by very quickly, and it seems that everybody's settled back into their routines. Fall sports are underway. Our plays are starting to have auditions. So I just want to thank the community and all the staff and students for their efforts in getting back smoothly to start the year. As we get underway, I did want to mention just one thing. Many of you may have heard administrators or the Board of Ed or myself reference the chain of communication, and I think it's an important piece to kind of reiterate at this time of year. When there is something of concern or you have a question, we do use a chain of communication, and the reason why we point you in that direction is that you can get the most accurate information the quickest. Your child's teacher and the people that deal with your children on a day-to-day basis will often have the most information about immediate concerns and needs. So, sometimes people think chain of communication is kind of brushing someone off and not wanting to step in and support the issue or whatever the concern is. But in reality, we want you to get the best information the quickest. And certainly, as you move up that chain, administration becomes involved and I become involved. But, the goal of this is to get you information quickly so that way you can resolve or have your questions answered. So I just wanted to kind of make mention of that because I think it gets misinterpreted a lot of times. Another piece, speaking about our high schools, both High School North and High School South will be undergoing reaccreditation for middle states this year. This is a process that staff members and administration in both buildings undertake. We were accredited before. Both buildings have gone through the process. The reaccreditation is every 7 to 10 years. So we will work through starting that accreditation process this year. It is simply a self-reflective and self-evaluative process where you look at all your school functionings and weigh them against middle state standards and then create action plans to ensure that you are meeting those standards. We get a site visit from middle states and they come in and they provide us that accreditation. And the reaccreditation is a little bit easier than the initial accreditation because all of those systems were up and operating, and now it's just sustaining them over the course of time. There will be going out to the community, as both high school communities as well to the students and staff, a survey that asks for feedback on the functioning of the schools. So please look for those coming home and going out to community members. We have completed our iReady diagnostic for our K-8 students. We do a fall, winter, and spring administration. Mrs. Doherty and Mrs. Farley both mentioned the Chromebooks. They are digitally delivered, which enables us to have fast and immediate access to that diagnostic information. So those reports will actually be imported as PDF family reports into the Genesis platform. We will be sending home a communication tomorrow for families that has a screenshot of how to access those reports. So you'll be able to see your students' results immediately. And every time we give an assessment, that report will be exported into Genesis for easy access. We also wanted to inform the community that we'll be starting to do a policy audit process, which is a regular occurrence every so often, to ensure that our policies are matching what the state requires. It is part of the overall CUSAC audit, which we are up for this year. So that will become part of our internal checks and balances. So that way, when the state comes in to give us our evaluation, we can ensure that everything is aligned. These school boards behind the scenes to do that audit, and then eventually switching away from Strauss Esme and moving into school boards as the public policy provider on our website. But we'll let you know when that's scheduled to occur. But for now, what exists on our website will remain until a later date. I will be hosting during the course of the year a series of student forums at each of our high schools as well as our middle schools. I will be meeting with students 3 times a year. Their groups, usually principals will put together a group of student leaders in the building, and we'll be talking about just their overall experience in Middletown. I think it's important that we have their voices heard. They are the most important people in the organization, in my opinion, and often they're the last ones we ask. So this will be an effort to get that feedback. At the elementary level, it'll look a little differently. I'm going to be hosting lunch with the superintendents. Those will probably be I'm excited to hear the commentary that comes from those lunches, but they are priceless, and they do, even at that young age, have a lot to offer about their opinion related to their school experience. So more to come on that as we get through the year and start to host some of those. The final thing is Friday of this week will be my first monthly superintendent's update. It will be once a month on the last Friday of each month, and it will include an overview of the initiatives that are happening in the district or the major things, a lot of things that you hear at these meetings. It will be divided into 4 parts. There'll be a district page, which is kind of applies to everybody, and then there'll be a high school section, a middle school section, and an elementary section. So it'll also have links to various pieces of information for more access to, if you want to dive a little deeper, but that will be a regular occurrence on the last Friday of every month. So thank you. And again, thank you for an amazing back to school. Kids, I hope you are enjoying your classrooms and your teachers, and thanks for coming out tonight to see us.
Thank you, that's helpful. All right, I need a motion to approve the minutes, executive session, August 30th, 2023.
So second.
I'm sorry, A and B, 10A and B with the regular workshop meeting from August 30th, 2023.
So moved. Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? I need a roll call vote, I need a motion to approve appointment of superintendent of schools. This is Jessica Russell.
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Mrs. Farley?
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Mr. Heffernan?
Yes.
Mrs. Minimes?
Yes.
Mr. Tull?
Yes.
Mrs. Wright?
Yes.
Mrs. Tobacco?
Yes.
Mr. Capone?
Yes, and congratulations, Mrs. Delphine. Moving on, business approval. I need a motion to approve approval of Board of Education consent agenda.
So moved. Second.
Discussion? Yes, this is A. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'm opposed on, I guess.
It's just A.
Oh, that's just A?
Yes.
I didn't do it all.
Nope, sorry, just A.
Okay.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Need a motion to approve 12B, approval of business office consent agenda.
So moved. Second.
All in favor? That's just, I'm sorry, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? I need a motion to approve Royal Scouting Supervisor of Curriculum and Instruction.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please, Amy.
Mrs. Farley?
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Mr. Heffernan?
Yes.
Mrs. Minimes?
Yes.
Mr. Tull?
Yes.
Mrs. Wright?
Yes.
Mrs. Tobacco?
Yes.
Mr. Capone?
Yes, and congratulations, Ms. Belkey. Need a motion to confirm HIB appeal case 249263.
So moved.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
Abstentions. Okay, now I need a motion to approve 12C, approval of superintendent of schools consent agenda.
So moved.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions. We're now moving on to old business. Anyone? Joan?
No, I'm waiting for no.
No old business, we're gonna move on to new business.
Okay, I have a bunch of stuff. First, I'd like to say I'm glad that we're moving forward with New Jersey school boards and that we're going to look at all our policies, especially any that we were told were mandatory, so that we're on the same page. Next, I've been attending a lot of back-to-school nights. I have to say thank you to all the custodians. The buildings look fantastic. And I also want to thank our security guards, because I've been to many where they've been out directing traffic, because the outcome of back-to-school nights this year is tremendous. I think there's more people than I've ever seen in the past. And they've been out there directing traffic, helping people. So I just want to give a shout out to thank them for all their help. This Saturday, Navasink is having a fall fest from 12 to 4. If any high school students would like some community hours, they were looking for people. Just go onto the website, look for the Navasink PTA link, and you can check to see if they need more help. It's a lot of activity going on that day. They have a chili contest, a lot of activities for elementary students. It's just a fun-filled day, and the weather looks great. I also believe that Nut Swamp might be having one the same day, Kate?
Yes, they are. I think it's from 2 to 5.
Okay, thanks. I didn't want to leave that out. I've been attending quite a few PTA meetings already. We have Harmony. I got information from them. They're having a casino night on October 19th. You could get information on their website, or you could contact me. I have all the links and the information I could send to you. It's always good to get out there and support all our school fundraisers. It's what makes things go great for our kids from when the PTAs are raising money. Leonardo is planning a comedy night. As that information comes out, I will pass it on. It's still in the beginning stages. Ocean Avenue is having a gift auction on November 16th at the Gramercy. So mark your calendars. These are great events to go and attend. They're usually well attended, great prizes, and a lot of fun for a night out. As more things come up, I will definitely bring them to the meetings. But I just want to say that it's been a great experience going to back to school nights and PTA meetings. There's so much on the rise this year that parents are willing to volunteer for that I'm sure I'm going to have a lot more announcements to bring.
Excellent. Thank you, Ms. Minnie.
I have some new business. First, I echo what everyone is saying, that it's really great to be back in school and see all of the students, and I wish them all a really great and successful school year. Bayshore PTO meeting was on September 22nd, and have some things to share from them. This past Friday, they had a very successful color run. It was really nice to see all the kids out there. They also had an ice cream truck. I think that was probably the favorite of everybody. Right now, they're having their Scholastic Book Fair this week. They have a holiday pie fundraiser coming up for Thanksgiving. So if you need information, contact me. I can send you the links for that. They're going to have a Halloween dance on October 28th. Most important thing I'm looking forward to the most is they're having a clothing drive on October 13th. I have probably 2 carloads of clothes now that I can donate finally. That will be all day until 4:30, and it will be along the fence in the back where the horseshoe is for the buses. So if you are cleaning out your closets, please bring your clothes to Bayshore. They already have a date for their gift auction next year, which will be April 26th. So mark your calendars and save the date for that. I also attended the Municipal Alliance meeting on Saturday morning, September 16th. It was actually a very well-attended meeting. We did hear an update from our Crossroads program about our students who are involved in that program. The biggest hit, I think, of all, and we look forward to this every year, is the update on Project Plus. So Project Plus is now going to be given to 8th graders. It's a more condensed program, only lasting 4 weeks. It actually is starting this week, and they have 63 8th graders signed up for this program. Following that will be the traditional 5th grade program. That is the 8-week program, which already signing up students for that. If you want information, I'm happy to share that as well. And last year, they graduated 400 kids out of the Project Plus program. And so they are looking forward to another really well-attended program throughout the rest of this year. If you have old expired medication that you don't know what to do with, the township is holding an event on October 28th at Town Hall. We'll be able to bring that medication and they can take it. And the next Municipal Alliance meeting is scheduled for December 16th.
Thank you. Any other board member have any new business? I'm going to now turn to Adriana. Would you like to say anything, Adriana? Are you good? Good. And Jake? Good. Good. All right. Now I'm going to close our new business session and open up for public comment. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to hand it over.
Yeah, sure. I just want to remind the public that any audience member wishing to make a comment will state his or her name, address, affiliation, and intent to make a statement. Comments should be addressed to the board president. It will be made on one issue at a time, and comments will be limited to 3 minutes. No audience member shall be recognized twice until everyone else has spoken. And as Ms. Alphone alluded to, this portion of the meeting is for public comments only, and there will be no questions answered. The purpose of the meeting is for the board to perform its business in public. While everyone is entitled to a public comment, this is that portion of the meeting to do so. If there is a question for the board, as Mrs. Alphone said, there's a chain of command to follow, and administration will follow up and respond as appropriate to ensure that everyone gets the most accurate, detailed information in the most efficient way possible.
Thank you. Having said that, now we're going to open our microphone up for public comment. If anyone would like to make a public comment, please step forward, state your name and address for the record.
My name is Dylan Rooney. I live on Teddy's Court. I am in 5th grade and would like to have a choice to participate on school sports teams and clubs next year. I still have the choice to do things other kids do, but just because my family homeschools, I can't. When I started middle school, I would like to have the choice. I might want to join a history club because I like to learn about war history, especially World War I and World War II. You can allow me and other homeschoolers to have the choice and to do things every other kid does. It means so much to me and other homeschoolers in Middletown. Thank you. Hi, my name is Justin Rooney. I live in Middletown. I am a homeschooled 5th grader and I love how flexible learning is now. I like learning at my own pace. I love to play football and I also love to play the piano. I am playing in 2 football leagues right now. One league goes up to 12 years old and the other league goes up to 9th grade. After 9th grade, I cannot play in any other rec leagues. If you allow homeschoolers like me to participate in school sports and clubs, I would want to join the school band and play piano. I don't want to feel not included, left out, or different from other kids. Please make me feel included. Thank you for your time.
My name is Belinda Rooney and I live at 10 Hayes Court. I was a little surprised tonight not to get an update on our homeschooling cause from the policy committee, but I'm grateful for this opportunity to come forward and discuss it. Mr. Ranella, 5 months ago today, I met with you and Ms. Walker asking for your support to give homeschoolers in Middletown access to extracurricular activities. Since then, I tried to shine a light on a policy that prevents inclusion amongst children in Middletown. My constant asking comes with the utmost respect and appreciation for each of you. I believe you took this position to pursue what's best for the children of Middletown, That is why I continue to have hope. I spoke to board members in Homedale and in Brook Township. Both districts give access to homeschoolers. They passionately believe giving homeschoolers access to extracurricular activities is the right thing to do. They believe that when a district chooses to welcome homeschoolers, there is only positive upside for all involved. Now that homeschoolers in Middletown have come forward and asked for access, what do our board members believe? To the families of enrolled public school students, my children went to Fairview Elementary School. My children and I loved Fairview, but during the pandemic, my family's needs changed. While homeschooling for us started out as a response to the pandemic, it has become what is best for my family. Tonight, I'm advocating for my children to have access to every opportunity that can enhance their lives. To Superintendent Alphone and the rest of the administration, I am not asking you to be the first district in our country to give homeschoolers access. To the members of the board, I am not even asking you to be the first district in New Jersey to do it. I am asking you to be the first board members in Middletown to choose to include homeschoolers. I hope that when my boys just spoke, you saw their potential. I hope you saw all they can contribute and all they can become. Please see the impact your yes can make in their lives. The answer is not to enroll my children in public school. Show us you do support our parental right to homeschool our children. Show us that we as parents have the right to choose an alternative education that is best suited for our family. Don't punish us for exercising that right. 33% of high schools in the Shore Conference give homeschoolers access to school sports. And that doesn't include all of the other schools throughout our state that say yes to homeschoolers. Be on the side of inclusion. Will you be a board member that sees a child's needs and works to find a solution? Or will you be a board member that sees a child's needs and looks the other way? Please don't look the other way. Our children in Middletown need you.
Good evening, Middletown board members. My name is Maggie Vasto, and I live on Lakeside Drive in Middletown. And I thank you for allowing me to speak here tonight. I have expressed my views previously on allowing homeschoolers to participate in school sports and activities throughout Middletown public schools, so you know where I stand. But I'd like to add some additional information to your thought. Vocational schools like MAST, as well as those needing specialized services, attending our schools are allowed to participate in Middletown sports, clubs, and activities. These children have different educational needs as well as our homeschoolers. Speaking for my family specifically, COVID hit hard, and we didn't realize just how much they were struggling until we placed them in a micro school who has not only caught them up, but surpassed our grade level expectations in conjunction with Middletown's educational plans for their age and grade. My question is, why are they treated differently just because their educational needs were not best served by the public schools in Middletown during a time of extreme educational uncertainty? They're still children of the Middletown community and Middletown School District. When plans were changed and we decided to homeschool, I had to notify the superintendent as well as the Board of Education, which tells me they are still children of the school district. Just because their educational needs changed doesn't mean their social and emotional development with their community peers should have to change. Classroom education is just one piece of what our schools offer. So if we adopt the all or nothing policy, who is that hurting? That's right, the children. Please ask yourself when making this decision, am I punishing these children who learn differently in various environments other than a school classroom where there may be difficulty, I screwed this all up, in various environments other than a school classroom because there may be difficulties navigating policies which require effort? Or do we really care for all children of the Middletown community? If you are on the fence because policy change is difficult, let us work with you to come up with a compromise. The misconceptions around homeschoolers may be the issue. Let us show you that our children work just as hard, if not harder, than those that attend classroom education. Our Middletown Recreation Department is used by homeschoolers, and we attend many educational events throughout the year on our own. However, if you look at the programs that are available beyond the sports, our choices are science, art, and theater. Some have minimal attendance and are canceled. Some also have age restrictions, and there is not much available for older children. So my main point in this speech, before I turn it over to my son Dylan and daughter Elena, is how can we show you our children are so deserving of this, and what we offer the school system is nothing to be afraid of. Embracing change and accepting diversity and inclusion will only allow for all children of the Middletown community to thrive. While this applies to the needs of my family specifically, would you think about a tiered approach where we start out allowing for participation in clubs and activities? If it goes well, then have a plan for participation in sports. I think you would then see us more as an asset to the entire community and not what preconceived notions have led you to believe. Thank you for your time.
Good evening, Middletown Board of Education members. My name is Dylan Basto. I'm 12 years old and I'm in the 7th grade. I attended a micro school called Tranquil Teachings, and this is my 3rd year attending. Previously, I attended Navesink Elementary School. COVID was a very hard time for me, and I really struggled with my academics. I was very lucky that my parents were able to find me a place where I could explore other learning opportunities and have a personalized plan to get me caught up with my academics. My love of learning has returned, and I really love learning about things like farming, health, and nutrition, community service, and entrepreneurship, along with all my core academics. I have learned to be a leader and feel like I'm a well-rounded student. It has been my dream to get to play with my friends on the EA sports team at Bayshore Middle School, but I was forced to make a choice. Since Middletown didn't allow me to try out because I attended a different school for my education, I've accepted that I may not ever get to play on this team. But that is why I choose to speak tonight. I am hoping you can reconsider your decision and allow me to play with my friends. I would be able to show you that I am not a threat or a liability, but would bring kindness, leadership, and dedication to my peers. I may even bring home a championship trophy. Your decision of yes would impact my future and success. Please give me the chance to show you how much better our community and schools would be if you allowed us to participate. Thank you for your time.
My name is Elena Baxter, and I'm 9 years old and in the 4th grade at Tranquil Teaching. I also attended Navesink Elementary School. During COVID, I had a really hard time with school because I couldn't wear a mask. I had red bumps all over my face every day, no matter what type I wore. This caused me to not want to go to school anymore. I was upset, so my parents wanted to try something new. I am challenged every day in my academics and even have homework. Even though I am in 4th grade, I'm currently working as a 5th grader in math, reading comprehension, and vocabulary. I would love it if you didn't see our educational differences as liability and instead worked on ways to say yes and allow my brother, my homeschooling peers, and me a chance to make the Middletown community stronger together. Thank you.
Would anyone else like to make a public comment?
Hey, my name is Jean Marie Ramos. I live in Middletown, New Jersey. I have kids currently that actually matriculated through High School North and High School South. 27-year-old, 24-year-old, and started over with a 5, 6, and 7-year-old now at Harmony. I'm up here, my kids are not homeschooled, they are in school, but I have to stand up for what's right. What's right is giving these kids a chance. These parents are paying just as much taxes as all of us. I can't understand how they would be not included in something like this. I can't, what the purpose of it is, that they're not included. How do you know you don't have your next New York Ranger or your next great Giants? Like, I don't understand the reasoning of it, and if there is a reasoning, I was hoping maybe, you said, Mr. Padula, you are the attorney?
Yeah.
Okay. You said we can't ask questions. I understand we can't get answers. Where do we go from here? Where do we go when we want they are kids. They deserve it. They deserve to be included. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Mr. Patrick. I've been here for a long time. I go back to the Billy George era, way back. So, and I know you guys, I think you guys were up for election. The two of you? Or three of you?
I didn't run this year.
Why? What's going on?
I'm gonna focus on coaching my son's football team.
There you go. There you go. All inclusive. You should have stayed on, bud. Thank you.
Thank you.
Colleen Swanson, David Slater, River Plaza. As you know, this is the third time I've spoken on this topic, so I just want to, the first time I spoke, I explained to you my background and why this matters to me. And the second time, we were told that it wasn't moved out of the co-curricular committee. And I expressed that that was disappointing and the path forward was unclear. Now I think we're hearing that it could go to the policy committee. And I just think now is a good time to sort of press you guys a little bit and say, here's an opportunity, come forward and have a conversation. Say, we have concerns, or we're in favor, we support this. Any type of conversation would be so welcome and exciting and good. Voters like to see honesty. You know, voters like to see, even if we disagree, just so you know, I'm okay with disagreeing with someone on something and still voting for it, because we have important things. So we put children value, parental rights and freedom of choice and all of that. Here's an opportunity to do something concrete, move it forward and say, this is something that impacts, you know, parents' rights to choose the education and the option that suits their children, and children putting them first to fulfill their needs. So let's do something concrete. And, or if you have concerns, that's completely understandable. I would too. Nothing's perfect. But I think the bottom line is we just want the children to have the choice. And the other thing to take away is you will not of homeschoolers going out for all the sports teams. It will really not have a huge impact, but it will have a positive for you to be able to say, here's something we did to show that we care about these children, but it really doesn't have a huge downside that I see. So if you have concerns that are, you know, impediments to this, please, we would love a response, as she just said, and answer, just an answer to these questions. We're just sort of showing up at Board of Ed meetings and we're homeschoolers, so, you know, we really shouldn't have to keep doing that. You could just respond to us, we could have a conversation. We could just decide like where this is going. And even if you could just shed some light on whether it's likely or unlikely that it could move forward or it has a path forward or anything like that would be very much appreciated. Thank you.
Any more public comments? I would like a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So, second.
All in favor?
Aye.